What up, people? Boy, John Albert checking in with you. Nothing but facts. My co-host Chris Brooks. Yeah, a lot to talk about today. I'm gonna talk to people. Tell them about your weekend.
Nah, I don't want to tell them about my weekend. They might be mad.
How would they be mad?
No, I don't. You know how I go.
Do I? Do I?
Happy belated Thanksgiving to all you fine folks. Hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving, safe travels and everything and all that good stuff.
Let us know if you can hear us. I hope you can see us.
This is kind of confusing.
Why?
I'm looking down in the corner. Yeah.
I mean, you know.
Jermaine Dukes. I'm going to put up one finger at you because you know you're supposed to be at my house. But it's all good, bro. It's all good.
You want me to come and put up the one finger for us?
No, we don't want you to do that. We don't want you to do that.
That's my partner, too. It's nothing but love. He's the fan favorite.
Perfect. Thank you, Shelly.
Can you guys hear us good?
Chavez, what's going on?
What up?
Congrats to y'all. Heard y'all lost in the championship game.
No,
but
Chavez won.
Chavez won.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Won.
Congrats, Vez, to you and your boys, man. That's big.
Down in Kentucky.
That's huge. Huge for your boys and huge for the city, man.
Well, what's up, people? I guess we're going to get right into it.
Romaine, what up? What up?
Shout out to CBC.
CBC just got them one of those.
They got them a ring.
Back to back, like Drake.
Back to back. 45-21 over Rockhurst. I think I told you so. I think I said it was going to be a beatdown. It was a game for a half.
Hold on, man. Hold on.
Come on, Jerry. Can you move? He's supposed to be security. It was a game for a half.
Hey, before even that, man, congrats, bro. Like, congrats to them. Like, that's huge, bro. Like, I agree. That's huge.
Back to back, it's
back
hard
to back
to do.
in 6A, that's huge, man. You know, and to do it in a convincing fashion that they did it, it wasn't like, you know, some games they can go either way. Right. You know, you kind of, we critique everything, but for them to go on the run that they went on, and they beat the hell out of everybody outside of St. John's, I believe, in which was a shootout.
I mean,
my personal opinion, they should have won that game.
So I think I said that it wouldn't be close. I said it wouldn't be close the whole playoffs. I've been calling it from day one. It's flat out simple. They are just way better than everybody else when it comes to everything.
Are they better than everybody else talent-wise? I know we're gonna ruffle some feathers, but are they better than everybody else coaching-wise?
Both.
6A's down. 6A's down, but that's not to take anything away from them. They're dominant. I mean,
6A's down. Okay, 6A's down. But Rockhurst will beat everybody else.
In 6A?
5A. 4A. The only one I would say that, only two teams I would say that would have a fighting chance would be Ladue.
No.
Hear me out.
No.
Oh, hear me out.
Hell no.
Let me finish. Let me finish.
Not even close. Go ahead.
Ladue.
No.
And Trinity.
No. And I'm gonna say this. CBC this past year, I had the opportunity to coach over at SLU. I've never seen more concussions handed out by a football team in football history
than what CBC does.
CBC is a physical team.
This is not about CBC. We were talking about Rockhurst.
Hold on.
What I'm saying to you is
hold on. Hold on. I just want to make the argument.
There's no argument. We know that CBC will beat the hell out of everyone else. We know that.
Okay.
That's not a debate. It's not a discussion. What I said was, and let me make sure I say it to you so you can understand the words that are coming out of my mouth.
I hear you.
What I said to you was that Rockhurst would beat everybody else in the classes.
But Trinity. So you're not going to throw Cardinal Ritter hat or Lutheran North hat?
We'll touch Cardinal Ritter in a minute.
Oh, no. But
why are we jumping the gun?
No, because you simply just made.
Why are we jumping the gun here?
You made a statement. You said
going to get to that in a minute.
This man just said Rockhurst.
In a minute. Okay. First of all, I already said, I made my pick weeks ago. I told you that nobody was beating Trinity. I said that weeks ago. It ain't no secret. And again, I know when we make picks, people get in their feelings and they get mad. It's not have nothing against anyone. I don't have a horse in a race. I ain't riding nobody off in the sunset. All I'm saying to y'all is that Trinity gonna do their thing. We ain't talking about them right now. Stay on top.
Listen, Julian Williams, I know he's probably not watching, but I know his dad's probably watching. Hey, man, back to back. Congrats, bro.
That's big time.
Congrats, bro. That's huge, you know, to be able to be in a position that kid was in. He is a Dickey kid, so obviously I'm going to be biased. But to switch positions and then play behind Cameron Brown and Cameron Babb, and then you take over when a lot of people kind of was raising eyebrows.
So the sweater you got on cute.
Hey, Mike. I got the platform right now, and you ain't here.
No, that's
but shout out to Julian, man.
Food, dog.
I mean, that was huge, man, to be able to go and be a quarterback, switch positions, and then go help a team win back-to-back championships, man. That's huge, man. So congrats to you and your family, man. We definitely looking forward to seeing what you do on the next level. Are you going to jump right in it now?
No.
Congratulations, Pitts.
We're not going to jump right in it yet. Let's get to 5A. Let's talk about Vianney. They advanced to the state championship game.
Who did they play? I don't remember who they played.
Fort Osage.
I really don't give a damn because I'm St. Louis all day. St. Louis versus everybody. I saw some shirts. I got a text that says St. Louis versus everybody. Now, we always talk about St. Louis versus everybody, but we don't support St. Louis.
I told you how I felt about that.
So, hey, if you had that shirt, whoever, we can order that shirt. Trey, we might need to get Trey. We might need to get Trey to make sure.
It was Kibby. Kyron is a grown man, and he's going to show it in the state championship game on Saturday.
Elite player, elite amateur player of the year.
Saturday. Okay, yeah. That's a fact.
Well, I mean, we can talk about – there's a lot of kids that we can talk about, and I don't just want to single Kyron out, but, I mean, you're talking about –
is he going to get player of the year?
I think it's going to be very, very difficult to deny him that, but how can you have the Gatorade player of the year and Isaiah Williams – last year. Now he's playing in the state championship game, led his team to a state championship game with a whole new coaching staff, still put up magnificent numbers. How do you deny him back-to-back Gatorade players of the year? I think it's very, very difficult to be able to do that. I understand the 45 touchdowns. I get that. I get all of that. But
Kyron got 45 touchdowns?
Yes.
Nothing to talk about. He's going to be Gatorade player of the year.
It's not. It's not.
It's a fact. Bro, this show is called Nothing But Facts.
I get it.
We ain't going to speak the facts. If I had something to mute your mic, we don't got mics yet. We ain't got that, you know what I'm saying, savvy. And when we get mics, I'm muting your mic. That's you're outrageous.
I'm
45 touchdowns.
Until you want to work for Luther's janitorial.
49. Well, he got 39. 45. I don't care if it look 37.
Hey,
that's no touch. Come on, that's unheard of. Come on, bro.
Offensive line of beats.
Come on, bro.
Well, I mean, I'm not taking nothing away from Kyron. He's a great talent. I mean, he's done some things. He's been doing that since a freshman. If I'm not mistaken, Cam Coleman led that team to a state championship.
He did
4 years ago. So not taking that away from him, but he's
an animal. I mean, that's a fact. He's an animal.
Yeah. So, but my pick, Biani.
My pick, Biani.
There it is.
Moving right along. Jump on down here to 4A. St. Louis versus St. Louis. Ladue versus MICDS.
Well,
I'm going to say this. I don't know how the hell MICDS made it to the state championship game.
Go ball down.
Well, that's evident. I mean, because I look at them and I don't, I don't see anything that says they should be in the state championship game. Now they won, so they play against the teams that line up against them. So it is what it is. I got Ladue like big.
I hope Ladue beats them 100-0.
Chris.
And that's a turbo clock, obviously. I know it won't happen, but I hope Ladue beats the brakes off of MICDS.
I know where you're going with this.
No, I'm not going anywhere with it.
I know exactly where you're going with this.
Ladue
they haven't addressed what we talked about weeks ago.
The brakes. That's no shade. I don't know if we got any kids.
Yeah, Ali, that was bad voice. That was bad voice.
That came through, programs that we've coached or anything like that. It's nothing.
But you just said 100-0 though.
Good luck to Ladue.
Well, the hot topic of the day.
Well, I didn't say that, Jamon, but
in those words.
The hot topic of the day.
I'm a little upset, disappointed, upset. Kind of feel like somebody took my ball and ran home.
That's evident.
I don't have the energy today, folks.
Wonder why.
But
notice I walked right past that one. But
go ahead.
Let's move right along. Let's get into it. Let's get to the nitty.
Look, this is what everybody wants to talk about.
Let's get to the facts. Let's get to the real. Let's get to the real conversation of what everybody want to talk about. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna break down the pros and cons. We're gonna break it down how they do it on ESPN. All right. Look, running backs, receivers, line play, offensive coordinator.
Kind of like we did CBC this Met.
Yeah.
Where
same way.
I got mauled, damn near mauled in the grocery store for giving this Met some check.
We're gonna break it down the same way. Okay, so here we go. Trinity, Cardinal Ritter, 11 a.m. Saturday state championship game. St. Louis versus St. Louis. The stage is set. This is what people want to see. Everybody's been talking about it for weeks. All right. And now it's time for your boy John Allen, my co-host Chris Brooks.
Did you do what you're supposed to do?
Did I do what I was supposed to do?
Yeah.
What was I supposed to do?
You're supposed to get the rights so that we can broadcast.
We're not getting the rights to that. Misha's not messing with anyone with that. They're charging for a live stream. That's neither here nor there. We're not talking about Misha right now.
Hey, Pitts, you mind your business. You've already did what you're supposed to do.
Hey, matter of fact,
you mind your business.
You cannot say another word.
You mind your business.
After what I read from you today in Sports Mania, you have nothing to say, Pitts. Oh my God, we're gonna talk about.
We're
gonna talk about this.
Listen, I know a few people, and we're gonna figure out a way to be able to get into a suite or something where we can broadcast the game. I'm gonna start working on that since the CEO of Mo Better Sports.
The CEO is gonna be in Chicago for the Nike Elite Classic.
Well, I'll put on one of my mini hats and see if I can bring the game. We got applications
for a new, I'll give you the password to their accounts.
Hey, but let's dive into it.
Let's dive right into it.
Woo! It's simple. It's real simple.
Go ahead, give me your pick.
No, that's not how it works. Let's go break down.
You want to break down first?
So I mean, we'll go. One of the most important pieces to this game, the quarterback position.
Trinity.
Now, how can you just?
You gonna ruffle some feathers?
How can you just? And I'm not disagreeing with you.
I mean, did I say something wrong?
Well,
you can't ask me what I. Okay, listen. I got to break it down.
I mean, this is what the city wants to see right now.
This is how I look at it. Okay, arm strength, they probably like neck and neck. Accuracy, I'm gonna give that to Cardinal Ritter, quarterback. Okay, I'm gonna give that to Makai. But Isaiah's a dual threat. He can make all the throws. Sometimes he will stay in the pocket and throw the football.
A lot of times. That's what he wants to do.
He extends plays much, much, much better. All right. And again, I just think that he's more dynamic than Mekhi. That's not, and this again, don't take this the wrong way. This is us breaking it down, the matchups of the game. All right. I don't have any horse in the race or dislike for anyone, but I have to throw that disclaimer out because this is a show and this is what we're supposed to do with nothing but facts.
I'm going to give you a name.
I'm listening.
Pat White. Does that name ring a bell to you or anybody out there?
Do it. West Virginia?
West Virginia. You know who the offensive coordinator is at Illinois?
No, who's offensive
The same gentleman who was the offensive coordinator at West Virginia when Pat White was at West Virginia.
What are we going with?
Illinois envisions Isaiah Williams coming to Illinois and being Pat White all over again.
Okay.
He can throw. He can make every throw on the field. Let's not kid ourselves. He's the fastest person on the field at any given time. Number one. Fastest person on the field at any given time. I don't care about, I know Jameson got world-class speed, but I guarantee you, number one, get loose, there's nobody on the field who is going to catch him. Nobody. He breaks down the game on the field. He gets the call. He checks at times. He is very, very in control of the game. His pocket awareness is impeccable. Impeccable. Trinity doesn't protect all that well all the time. A lot of people don't understand that, but we'll get to that.
Okay, so again,
Isaiah Williams.
Okay, so we both have Isaiah as the pick. Moving right along. Let's go to the receivers. Let's go to the receivers.
Well, this is one, that I've watched. I've had an opportunity to watch both of them.
I have to.
And I'm not picking on Jameson at all because he's a great, great talent, does great, great things.
I agree.
But the last two times, and I was actually on Huddle today watching film, the last two times that Jameson has faced Trinity, those pads got the popping.
He didn't want no part.
I'm not going to say he didn't want no parts. I'm not going to say they didn't throw him the ball. But if I'm the best player on my team, I have to make big-time plays. I have to. In those last two games that they played, he was nowhere to be found.
No, listen, Chris. Listen, hold. I get it. That last year they didn't have a quarterback. This year they have one. He's much improved from what they had last year. Okay, I agree with all that. But what I'm saying to you is that I don't think they match up every receiver either. All right, now Carter Ritter has some dynamic receivers. They have a young kid, a young phenom, and touchdown Luther, who's gonna make a play or two that I know for a fact just because he has that spunk and fight about him. All right. You got Cam Coleman, who at one point was probably arguably the best in their class. Well, not arguably, he was the best in their class at one point.
He was.
All right.
And you already got a state champion.
And then you got Jameson. So they have some very, very dynamic players. But I don't know if Cam Coleman is what he used to be. And again, this is no knock. I want to make this very, very clear. This is no knock. But I don't know if he's what he's used to be. Because I remember the kid running down the sideline looking at everybody like, I'm that thing. He's very, very good. I don't know if he's what he used to be. I don't know if he's what he was when he played for Leon. It's just a fact. Calling a spade a spade. He's still very, very good. When you look on the other side of the football and you talk about Marcus, and you talk about Murder Mook, and you talk about Bryce, like, dude,
I think they evenly match.
I don't think there's okay.
At the wide receiver position,
this is how I look at it.
They're not evenly matched.
I think it's like this though.
There you go.
I think it's like one is 1A and one is 1AB, or one is 50 and one is 49. Like it's not like it's head above heels like they're just that much better. I'm not saying that. I just think with them having Marcus and Marcus being a big-time receiver and is going to make every play when it comes to jump balls, well, he's going to make all the jump ball plays. But when you have a kid like Mookie that can catch a 2-yard pass and take it.
But this is the thing. You can't do that. You have to put Mookie in one class. Is he a running back or is he a receiver?
It don't matter.
No.
It does.
Because
he plays both.
I get it. Rice, Childress, Marcus Washington, Frenchie. All right?
Got four top receivers.
So, I mean, I think it's obvious that where you're going with this and where I'm going with this, you're going to give. I think you're going to give the leverage to.
I'm going to give the leverage to Trinity, man.
They've been there. Not to say that Cardinal Ritter hasn't. Cam has been there.
What? Okay. So we talked about the receiver. Now let's talk about running backs. And to be honest,
I don't even know who Cardinal Ritter running back is. I'm not saying that like I'm not saying it like that. I'm just saying I don't.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to say Cardinal Ritter running backs. And I'm going to say Trinity running backs. Oh, probably equal. They're probably equal.
No, they're not. You got Wisconsin. You got Wisconsin who was just at the school today to come see Mr. Reggie Love.
I don't care if Alabama was there to watch.
Okay, that's a lie.
That's a lie. Listen, at the end of the day,
Reggie
Love shouldn't even be the starting running back there.
Stop. Well, you know why he is. He's a very, very good talent. But I'm going to say this. You're going to put Mookie as an athlete, okay? So you have to classify him in the running back position. He's the best running back in the state, damn near. So how can you say there's not even a point to continue to argue this?
Okay, so who Trinity. So Trinity. All right, so now let's go up front. Talk about up front. How do they match up? Well, you know my answer. They big as hell. They're solid. They're going to get the job done.
I don't think they can protect, though. But the thing is, I think this is the weak spot on both of these teams. Cardinal Ritter, very, very young up front. Very young up front.
Very young.
And small up front. Okay. Trinity, very, very experienced up front. But when you get shifty guys in there, they can't block them. They like the guys who, when they get their hands on them, then they can choke them out. But if you give one of these guys the moves, no dice.
You got TC watching.
You know, so you don't. That's where the game is going to come down to, right there in those trenches. And I've seen Trinity play. Obviously, we played against them, and I've said it the last 2 years. Every team that Trinity has played, if they've lost the game,
it's been up front.
It's been up front.
No, I don't disagree with that.
It's been up front.
I don't disagree with that.
So
I've also looked at it. I've also looked at it and said that it's a reason they lost up front. I don't think like them losing the east side. Hear me out. Like them losing the east side early in the year. I think it was more of a thing that those guys just were more grittier and tougher because they wasn't bigger than Trinity up front. They wasn't.
I don't think it was.
It was the smallest team east side ever had up front ever. All right. So it was the thing of they just now. Can we say that for Cardinal Ritter playing Trinity this year? Can we say that Cardinal Ritter is going to be more tough and gritty up front?
No. That's not what I'm getting at.
Where are you getting at then?
What I'm saying is, if there's any weakness between the two teams, because you got quarterback on both teams, right?
Right.
You got running back. You got wide receivers. I'm talking about, man, listen. Let's just be completely honest. There's probably going to be at least 5 to 10 college coaches at the game on Saturday.
Well, I mean, I get that part.
So the talent is definitely on the field.
And Cardinal Ritter has kids that are getting recruited by Division I colleges.
This is true, both of them. But I'm telling you right now, this game is going to come down to this position: offensive line, defensive line play. If Cardinal Ritter can protect and give him time, Makai's a very, very good quarterback.
I just said I'm gonna give him accuracy. He's efficient. I'm gonna give him that.
And vice versa. If Trinity, which they have shown the ability to this year, be able to protect and give him time.
Y'all gotta talk about the D-backs.
Hold on. We ain't got that far. We don't get that far. But I'm gonna say this. So give me your pick. Give me your pick.
Even saying that, I'm gonna say Trinity offensive line.
And I'm gonna say Trinity offensive line. Okay. And so moving right along. Let's move over to the defensive side. All right, and let's talk about the skill positions as far as D-backs and safeties and things like that. Actually, let's clump the D-backs, linebackers all together, so we don't have to waste time going all over. We know for a fact that Trinity has the best defensive player on the field, and then the kid that just came back that was hurt.
Who's the best defensive player on the field?
Shemai Cooper.
Shemai Cooper is the best defensive player on the field.
I'm not gonna agree with that.
Well, that's why. I mean, that's why you. That's why we doing it together. You don't have to agree with.
And that's not taking.
Yeah, you like I think he's
like number 7 show up a lot.
I think number 7 is the best defensive player on the field.
But number 11 show up awful damn.
Yeah, number 11 don't play defense all the time.
Listen, but why don't he play defense all the time? Because he plays offense. Yeah. I guarantee you, if Shaman lined up at tight end, he wouldn't be playing that much damn line.
Right now, Shaman is the best defensive player on the field, bro.
I don't agree with that.
Put it this way, I guarantee you have 12 to 15 tackles this week.
Oh, for sure. Well, let me just say this.
8 or 9 solos.
Hold on. Let's do this then. If number 11 just play defense, you don't think he playing on Sundays in 3 years?
Oh, I agree with that. But I think he has a chance to play on Sundays too.
A chance?
I'm talking about
number 7. Yeah. That boy gonna play on Sundays.
So what are we talking about?
But you said who's the best defensive player on
So you're saying Marcus is the best defensive player?
My opinion.
Okay. Well, you going with Marcus, I'm going with Samad. Either way it goes, neither one of us picked who. Again. So they lose in the second year.
That's true.
All right, let's move to the defensive line.
Well, but I will say this. Cardinal Ritter has a very, very, very good defensive back. And yeah. Well, that's what I just said. They have a very, very good defensive back. But that's when we're talking about comparing and taking.
I mean, when it's all said and done, some people gonna look at it and say y'all are knocking Carter Ritter because of the hype of Trinity, but the hype of Trinity is reality. Like people don't want to believe it. And people can say what they want to say, but the hype of Trinity, I'm
not buying the hype. I
had a T-shirt come out earlier this year. It was called "Believe the Hype." I believe it.
Yeah, I'm not buying the hype. There's a lot of hype around Trinity for good reason. There's a lot of hype around Cardinal Ritter for good reason. But it's just
network connection.
Give us one moment.
We're having technical difficulties. Motherfucking great.
Y'all closing too. Damn right.
Smile, Chris. You wanted the good looking.
I think okay, it's back up. It looks like it's back up. Oh, it didn't. Yeah, it's fine. I think Trinity without 11 on the field. Damn, boy, y'all had some suspect. Everybody was starting to chime in. About 50 views on that. Kind of remind me when I used to go live on Sunday night.
Listen, hey Jerry, I'm not taking nothing away from 7. He don't show up on film like number 11 show up on film. Not even close. It does matter.
I ain't trying to be funny. Simon, the county kid, he do exactly what he wants.
What's up, man? What's up, man?
What's that, man?
We had to get What's going on?
Is it the connection?
I don't know what's
Are you on Wi-Fi?
I'm not on Wi-Fi.
What you want to see? Y'all working out, niggas trying to be healthy. I'm 45.
I am.
Sorry, YouTubers. We're having some technical difficulties on the Facebook.
We'll be right back.
To the left. I'll way back up front. To the left. Damn.
I will say this.
And that was going good.
I will say this. Shaman's gonna make a hell of a linebacker, and he might. I see him as a stand-up outside in college.
Sorry about that,
coming
people.
in wrecking.
We had
wrecking havoc.
We had some technical issues.
Sorry about that.
We are back. We are back live.
Give them a moment to
I'm about
come
to
on back on. Yeah. No, all right.
That was very biased, and y'all gotta.
Oh, we biased. I can't.
Did you watch the game?
Hey, we're back. Sorry about that. We had some technical issues.
I
know this.
They suspect.
Bro, I
So
know
you gotta
this.
complete on
But this the thing. He back there.
He went back there.
He gonna be back there.
He better be back there.
Let everybody get tuned back in. We sorry about that. We had some technical issues with the Wi-Fi. Go figure. But we're back.
Banged up.
I guess it's been brought to my attention and our attention that pretty much.
Hold on. Let's give him like 30 more seconds.
30 more seconds.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's let them dial back in. Let them dial back in.
Getting hate mail. Follow me on Twitter, Chris Brooks 83 on Twitter. I don't know.
No, he wasn't born in 83.
I don't have Facebook anymore. It's hacked by a hacker.
Was it?
Yeah.
Some you jump right back up.
Oh, you at 36? Y'all can start talking now.
Hey, what's up, people? All right. So we're back. John Albert, nothing but facts.
Hey, Mossy.
Co-host.
Hey, Mossy, do not.
Chris Brooks.
Hey, listen.
Let's jump back right into it.
Hey, somebody text Carl Reed. Hey, we got a bone.
Hey, man, where you at, man?
Solo, man.
So, yeah, we back into it, man. Let's jump right back into it.
Hey, we don't need to address that, man. Like,
I think we do because, I mean, if we're being labeled as discrediting, pretty much Cardinal Ritter secondary because they have offers, mid-major offers or high-major offers.
Listen, if you're good enough to get a college scholarship, I don't give a damn what. Let's be honest. Cam Coleman is going to Western Michigan. Cam Coleman can go to Illinois. Cam Coleman can go to Mizzou.
I agree.
All those schools, like when Mizzou offered Cam Coleman, they offered him when he was a freshman, sophomore. So now Mizzou has different coaches. So different coaches have different schemes. They want big wide receivers. Cam's not a prototype wide receiver for their offense. So mid-major, Division I, I don't give a damn about that. That kid can play.
I agree. But we had to pick. So since we had to pick, you said Trinity Secondary, right?
I did.
And I said Trinity Secondary. All right. Then we jumped to the defensive line.
But let me just clarify, because I feel the need. This isn't a David versus Goliath match.
What is it?
Stop it, man.
What is it? I'm asking. You have to ask questions.
You have a lot of. This is what I see in this game.
What do you see?
I see a lot of individual players that individually want to be great.
I see a high scoring ass game.
A lot of individual players who individually want to be great. But there's no but. There's no but. So when you have that and you have the competitive edge, like you have all these kids, they see each other, they work out together, all of that. There's a lot on the line. So my thing is, in games like this, I tell my son all the time, people don't mess up in big games because the moment was too big for them. They mess up in big games because they're not prepared. They haven't put in the work. There's not a player on Ritter or Trinity that I can say that I know they didn't put in the work. Those guys work their butt off, man. They do. This isn't David versus Goliath. In all of these pickings, talking about quarterback play,
they all right here.
All right here. You know what I mean? This isn't the only spot where it could potentially be a little bit more is simply on the offensive line.
I think Troy is right, though. I think sometimes the stage is too big. I think this.
We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out on Saturday.
And I'm gonna tell you this. You're gonna find out.
But is it too big for the players or the coaches? BG's never been here.
And Porter has a great comment.
He has been there.
BG been there
Where
with
the kids
Maplewood,
going to
bro.
college don't mean nothing about high school football.
He was out with Maplewood.
I take that back.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
BG's been in the state championship game.
And Sterling was with him.
Yeah.
So he's been there before.
So
Melvin been there.
So now we've said all of this, and we've picked pretty much Trinity on everything in every category, all right, except D line. We didn't really talk about the D line play.
Troy.
All right. So now we go to the coaches, and we measure the coaches. Experience don't necessarily mean you're better.
No, but experience means something.
It means you have a little season.
Oh, that means
don't mean
bro.
it's good. Don't mean your chicken tastes better than my chicken.
No,
I might put lemon pepper on mine.
No, I mean more.
You might put something else on yours.
Hold on.
You might put.
You picked to come up here now. Why you ain't came up here the last?
I ain't been in town, bro.
Okay.
I'm here this week because I just got back.
All right, you got a hall pass.
They get invited.
Yeah,
okay, everybody don't get invited.
I came as soon as I could.
Let's get back on topic. Let's get back to the coaches. You got to take a pick. And I am going to go with Cardinal Ritter's coaching staff and say that Cardinal Ritter's coaching staff, with the experience, even though I just said it doesn't matter, I'm going to say they win the coaching battle. But ain't none of them catching the ball. Ain't none of them blocking and running the tackle. So my pick is going to be Trinity Catholic.
By what?
Landslide. Not close.
I give the team.
And now listen to me when I say this.
I don't understand that because
listen to me. Listen to me.
I
ain't said nothing about they was even. You ain't heard me say it was even. I said they was like neck and neck. But that don't mean your neck can't be snapped. All right? Listen, when it's all said and done, CBC is neck and neck with a lot of people talent-wise. But they coaching is so superior.
But this is the same.
really got a better coaching staff.
Hold up. Slow down. All right? Slow down. I'm not. I ain't straddling the fence. I'm giving it to you one way.
So you trying to make the view?
All I'm saying,
trying to make friends.
I don't need to make no friends. My name's John Allen, and I ain't never worried about what nobody had to say about me or what I say about them.
Have y'all ever been friends?
Because it's nothing but facts. We ain't never been friends.
We should more than
we so more than, you know what I'm saying? We friends. But let's get back on it. John, you're biased. How am I biased? I don't have a horse in the race.
Well, I got horses in the race. That's why I picked Trinity.
What makes me biased? Now, I don't have a horse in the race with Trinity. I don't have a dog in the fight.
Let me bring some.
Again, I know BG. Mess with BG. No Sterling, mess with Sterling. This is not about me messing with anyone or cool with anyone. This is John Albert, nothing but facts. The co-host Chris Brooks. We're going to give you our opinion. Sometimes you're not going to like it.
But let me ask y'all this, even while Bass here, real quick. Do y'all think the game going to be played in trenches? Or do y'all think it's going to be played outside?
Man, that shit going to be
real talk.
The game going to be wild. They're going to be running out. They're going to be running around.
Okay.
It's going to be play. It's going to be flashy play after flashy play. But I think Trinity's going to make way more flashy plays.
Most of these games played up front, bro.
Hey, and that's just what I said. The game is going to be won inside.
Yeah.
Bar none.
You won't have to run the ball.
But this is the thing. They on turf.
Yeah.
It's going to be 50 degrees.
Yeah.
And that's them horses on both sides.
Rain in the forecast. That don't mean nothing on turf though.
Hey, and it don't mean nothing.
So
with
look,
them little boys from Afghanistan that they got over there.
I'm gonna give y'all my score prediction. My score prediction is going to be drum roll. 55-21. Trinity. That's my score, 55-21. Now again, I know you're not gonna like it. I don't really. Cause they beat them 28-7 last time, and the time before that was 55-0.
Hold on.
What are we talking about?
So let's back up. Let's back up. The first time that they played, well,
at least I said they were gonna
last
score.
year, it was 55, whatever. The second time, it was 28-7, and Cardinal Ritter could have won the game.
It could have.
Yeah.
It was close, bro.
Cardinal Ritter could have won the game.
They got way more athletes.
They got a quarterback now.
Gordon Ritter do this year.
You think so?
They got Batman and Robin now. They got Touchdown Luther now. Okay. Ain't gonna be no 55-21.
Hey, listen,
They
man.
got more athletes.
This is my thing. Y'all don't have to agree.
I'm saying,
Y'all don't have to agree with me.
Yeah, they got way.
But see, I didn't make my prediction for you to agree. Man, I've been predicting stuff week by week, right? And I know for a fact I got more right than him. Because he picked more with his heart.
So you trying to call him dumb?
No. I just said I'm better at picking than him. That's all I'm saying.
You sound like you know what he's talking about, though, James.
Say it. I ain't say he don't. Man played in the league. Of course I know what he's talking about.
Some of my picks.
But on this show, John Albert give you the facts.
Let's just
Hold
all
on a
out.
second. If I had hold, I hit it.
My picks were just being, I guess, disobedient because he was going with somebody I didn't want to have the same picks as him.
That was happening.
So
That was
let's
happening.
just be honest.
Give us your pick.
I'm gonna say 50-45.
Oh, wow. That's a shootout.
50-45 Trinity.
Wow.
It's gonna be a shootout.
Wow. They all to the run. They all
On
to the race.
turf with some decent weather. It's gonna be a
50-45 Trinity.
shootout.
And I'm gonna say this.
Yeah, it's gonna be a
I'm
shootout.
gonna say it's gonna be that close simply because the last time Gardner Ritter could have beat those guys. They could have beat them. They could have beat them. That's just a fact.
Okay, listen. Can I tell you guys something?
They should have beat them.
If I would have stayed in shape,
Oh my God.
and my mama would have slept with my daddy, and she would have slept with somebody else that was taller, I could have had a chance to leave. I ain't trying to hear that.
Bro, what
little
up?
stuff, man. They lost.
Hey, if y'all need
They
training,
lost 28-7.
hold on. If y'all need training, straight up. If y'all need any kind of training, weightlifting, skills and drills, Rowan Thomas, man, he on here, find him. Y'all need to holler at him, straight up. Rowan Thomas played in the league with the Jaguars. He went to Sodan, but he did play in the league, got his college degree.
Yeah, he
See,
picked
55-54.
His son on my team.
He picked Soda and to beat Deshaun last week too.
Go figure. Oh, really?
Rogo hard.
All right, that's another.
His son on my
That's
team.
another.
So 50-45.
50-45 Trinity.
Sipping
But
on gin and
It's gonna be a
juice.
shootout,
But
bro.
I have to pick somebody, and I do
Sipping on
believe.
gin and juice.
No, not Pepsi today.
That boy
As
had
the
too much to
clown, as
drink.
the clown walks in.
Hey, that boy got some flashy beer, boy.
50-40.
That boy got some flashy beer, boy. That boy got so much beer. That boy got so much
And this
beer.
is why.
Trey Porter, what's up?
This is why. This is going to be a game. I believe the last person with the ball is going to win.
I can see that.
I don't see nobody stopping.
legit.
I don't
That's
see
legit.
nobody stopping each other.
That's legit.
I just don't see it. There's probably going to be one punt in the game. I don't see it.
Yeah, that's legit. Yeah.
50-45 Trinity. But the last person with the ball is going to win. They're two differently. They're different teams. One is a jet run and gun, all go special, where everybody running verticals. You know what I mean? And you got Isaiah, who's just dropping back, waiting for the opportunity to throw it further than anybody can run. And sometimes, or all the time, when he throw this ball, you see number 11 is coming up from underneath.
I'm gonna be 100% honest. I hope that Carter Ritter can prove me wrong, but I don't see it happening. You don't have to agree.
Like
What I'm telling you is,
like an
that
asshole.
I
It's
want them to prove me. I want to come
it's
on
like-
this show next Monday and say, "Damn, I was wrong."
So you don't respect
But I ain't
Jameson?
been wrong yet.
So you don't respect Jameson, Cam, and Luther?
I love Jameson.
Cam and Luther?
I love Touchdown Luther. Been watching him since a young pup.
Cam ain't legit?
But
Cam ain't legit?
if Shamar get a hold of Touchdown Luther this weekend, boy, look, let me tell you something. It's different than knocking your head off. And that boy hit you. Marcus hit you. I'm just saying, come down here. This ain't. What's up?
That's a good question, Coach. That's a good question, Coach.
They did it last
They've
year.
been going head up since they was baby.
Yeah, last year they did that. Last year
And
Isaiah lined up and
and
played
that-
corner
but that's what I
against
said.
Jameson.
But that's
You
what I
can't take that off
said.
the table.
And last year, let's talk about facts. That's what the show is. Let's talk about the facts.
Yeah.
The facts are last year I sat there and watched Gardner Ritter play against Trinity, and I saw at the time supposed to be the best player on the field, which is who? Jameson was supposed to be.
Isaiah.
No, they were saying hold on. Supposedly Jameson was supposed to be the best player on the field at the time. All right, he had 2 catches for negative some yards.
Was the first game or the second game?
Both. It don't matter. Both. He didn't do anything in the game.
How can y'all say that now?
They ain't have a quarterback last year.
Listen.
Yeah, that's a good point,
They didn't
man.
have a quarterback.
That's a great point.
Hold on, man.
And I said that.
No, they didn't have a quarterback that could throw.
But they had a quarterback when he was running 80-yard hitch routes and all that other stuff, though. The boy had 40 catches for 1,000 yards.
That ain't gonna work against no good team.
I'll make a deal right here. Right here on live. This how strong I feel right here. I'm finna make a deal right here. And Chris is telling me don't do it. But I'm finna make a deal for y'all. Okay? Y'all can quote me on this. The Cardinal Ritter beats Trinity on Saturday. John Apple and More Better Sports.
Put your pink slip on the line.
Will give each kid on the team that dresses out and the coaching staff
Dresses out.
just be great hoodies
Dang,
that says state champions.
I'm with Trent.
If they pull it, that's how confident
You gonna be out of
I
Iraq.
feel.
Iraq.
Oh, don't worry about that. I got a wholesale license.
I was gonna say that shit ain't gonna cost nothing.
No, I'm being for real. You quote me on that. And if it do happen, I'm gonna call him. He's gonna put some on. He calls.
I'm telling you, man. I just.
Cole's gonna put up.
You have a feeling? You have a feeling we're gonna be proved wrong?
You know,
Man, it happens, man.
before I even comment on this,
That's why you pick him.
the question was if Isaiah Williams comes out of the bullpen and checks Jameson, is it even close?
Give me Ricky.
That's the
No,
question.
give me Vaughn.
If number one, Isaiah Williams, Gatorade Player of the Year last year, comes out of the bullpen and lines up across from Jameson, I'm going to just go out and say it. Number one, the best wide receiver on the damn field.
Slot receiver.
The best wide receiver.
I can see
He's the best athlete on the field. Easily. And that ain't no shade.
Someone's saying Bryce can do the job.
Bryce can do the job. But he's biased because he trains Bryce.
Oh, I like that.
So, yeah. So he's biased.
You already know who said it.
But again, to go piggyback on the question, number one got a dog in him that everybody else don't. That ain't
Well, I'm gonna tell you this too, though.
So I mean, and I want to see this. I'm gonna say this.
But see, here's my thing,
I'm gonna
real
say
quick. I think the X factor is Luther because I think even the white teams, and I don't want to be like that on y'all.
Hey, look, I don't want y'all to get this twisted.
Yeah, my bad.
I love
me.
touchdown Luke.
But hold on, I think everybody that plays Cardinal Ritter game plans for Jameson
You got to.
ain't even can.
Hear me out.
And I think Luther
Hear me out.
gets loose because who you got for him?
Hear me
Yeah,
out.
but who you got for
Hear me
Fletcher?
out. Time out.
Who y'all got for
We gonna go,
number
we gonna go
Hold
there.
on.
That's a whole nother conversation.
Hold it down.
But you can hang a safety over the top of James.
Yep.
We know that. You can try and put Cam in distress.
This is Barry, by the
But
way.
then Luther breaks loose. Let's just be honest.
Okay,
Why you think he
let
had
me-
200 last week?
But that's how it works.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
It's
And
so-
that's
let's be
that's
honest.
Listen,
what coaches come
it is
from.
very
Right,
simple.
Luke.
And again, I want everybody to understand what I'm about to say to you.
That's the X factor.
I want
The
everybody
freshman-
to understand what I'm about to
the
say to
freshman
you
is the X factor.
on this show, because I'm going to give you the facts.
I watch it too.
The facts are what Barry said is false tonight. I'll tell you why it's false tonight.
Okay.
Touchdown Luther will not have a factor in this game.
I disagree.
It will
If
not.
he's playing over the top of
Listen to
Jameson,
me. Touchdown Luther. Sensational freshman.
because he's a baby.
But this moment right here today, on Saturday, is going to be much, much bigger when it comes to them guys being seen. I'm telling you, I don't think he's going to have a
disagree.
factor.
That boy,
I
really-
disagree.
Again, this
He's
is
been
healthy.
built for this.
See,
Hey,
disagreeing,
I disagree.
disagreeing is
He been built for
healthy.
this.
Come on,
He
man.
built for it.
Hey,
Guys,
listen.
he built for it, bro.
Listen.
He built for
I ain't
it.
saying
and I
that
don't-
ain't
and I don't
before.
want- and I
I'm
don't
saying he's
wanna-
not going to have a factor in this game.
Listen.
You don't
just
have
said
to
that.
agree.
Number
I
one,
don't
Bill
believe.
I don't want to go, and I won't go into you know, the background
Exactly.
with Luther. But
what?
this kid has been here before. Time and time.
You acting like he a dog. Talking about you been in the world before, huh?
I mean, you want to
He is a dog.
You want to go
He
one
is
on
a
one.
dog. He is a dog.
He's an athlete.
He's a dog.
One.
He's a dog.
You want to cover up.
Hey, I love that everybody's disagreeing with me because y'all better hope like hell on next Monday.
1, 4,
That,
5,
listen,
7,
y'all better
11,
hope like hell on Monday
23,
that Corner Ritter
24.
win and Touchdown Luther go crazy. Because if it don't, you gotta see me.
I got you.
You gotta see me.
Well, look,
But
well, look,
You gotta see me on Monday.
We're going to cover up James.
We're gonna move on because obviously,
And we didn't even touch on Frenchie.
There you go.
Frenchie might be the X factor, real X factor. We already know what Mookie gonna do.
I don't think Frenchie's an X factor. He's a factor. He's a big factor.
He's a good factor.
He's a big factor.
I think Mookie.
He's a big factor.
Mookie the best player on the field, man.
Hey, you come in.
Mookie the best player on the field.
If you ain't coming in looking to stop Mookie, you ain't talking about
Mookie the best player on the field. You heard me say it.
He's the best player on the field. I agree with you. Yeah.
Well,
When you
listen,
look at Trinity, you got
He's a
five.
mature young man. Mook is a mature young man.
listen. Trinity 50, Cardinal Ritter 45. However, whoever has the ball last will win the game.
I got Trinity.
I'm taking Trinity 50,
You gonna be
45.
there?
Yeah, I'll be there.
But
We going up.
whoever has the ball last.
You going up? You and your coach?
Yeah, all my
I forgot. That-
Let's move on.
We going
We
up.
talked enough about this.
We
We
going up.
made our picks.
On with basketball.
Don't text me talking about I was biased. I have
Listen.
horse in the race.
This next one.
Then we got to come around this so you can get in here.
Hold on.
Whenever.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You can't do the call.
Oh yeah, we have to talk about.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
3A,
2A.
2A. Our fellow,
The Big Bad Wolf.
our beloved,
Scholarship high.
scholarship high.
Oh,
Went down, baby, like Nelly said.
oh my goodness.
Went down, baby.
And we text him.
I damn sure texted him this morning.
We
Let me text him
we
now.
talk to him a lot, and
He is not exempt.
he's not exempt, but he's
Morning.
mourning. He's licking his wounds right now.
Boy got band-aids all over his body. Stop.
So in 2A there will be a new class champion because Lamar lost.
I'm gonna tell y'all like this. I watched some of the game. I didn't get a chance to watch all of it, but I got on the bus at practice coming back in Dallas. I got on the bus and I started watching the game, and I saw the same player score 4 times.
So he let one person beat him.
Well, that's neither here nor there. Not touching that. It's
Answer the
fine.
question.
Yeah, he let one person beat
You can
him.
go anywhere.
Yeah. That got nothing to do with that. The going anywhere
You
part,
ain't shit.
that's a
Jerry ain't shit.
that's a shot that's fired. That's
He ain't shit.
going anywhere ain't got nothing to do with what we talking about.
Hey, because you can go anywhere.
You can go anywhere.
From
From,
that,
Yeah.
from that
You
motherfucker. Oh, I'm sorry, 10 seconds delay. You can go anywhere from that school over on Lucas and Hunt. Anywhere. Hey, Battle Rock ain't got a football team,
Oh, Lord.
but I guarantee you,
well, Mike went there. What you talking about? He an all-time leading rusher.
he did. He did.
Oh man, he had a historical game
Hey,
against Harris
look,
Stoke.
we had to touch on it.
Look, man, Blair Oaks gave my boy all type of band-aids and hickeys and knots and.
But I said this, and this obviously no shade, but
No, what
I
I
said
said-
early on, I said it's going to be very, very, very hard to keep your team motivated and keep playing at a high level when you're not playing against superior talent like yourself.
What did I say to you though about Blair Oaks though?
You said they were a good football team.
And you looked at me like I was crazy. You looked at me like I was crazy.
St. Louis over everybody. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn if the Rams was lining up against you.
When I said, look, man, Blair Oaks good. They good every year. Chris like, so what that mean?
I did.
Mean now we sitting here talking
Luke
about.
good every year since Carl Reed took over.
Yeah, that's true. You're right. And it's facts. But again, our friend,
But
he's not watching the show tonight.
that's
He was.
his uniforms are in one nice in pile, just like the rest of us.
Just like the rest of everybody else.
And I know
They
we
lost,
and I
and
know
the
we're
big
gonna
fella
text you
lost.
tomorrow morning. You up? Keep working, and I'm gonna text you back.
Did you put your stuff in storage yet?
Keep working.
Keep working, fella. All right, blogs was good. They did that thing. Moving right along. We ain't gonna spend too much time on that because that's a wound that's.
I'm gonna say this before we move on. Lovie Smith just got a 2-year extension, ladies and gentlemen.
We gotta talk about this. We just talked about this 3 weeks ago. Talking about him getting fired, right?
Lovie Smith just got.
I'm gonna tell you this: Illinois is smart and it's simple math. And if you don't understand what I'm about to say to you, you're a special ed. All right, it's very simple.
You can't say that on it.
Yes, I can. What are you talking about? There's a bunch of people in the world with IEPs, whatever you want to call it. There's a bunch of them.
He's a school teacher.
Yeah, there's a bunch of kids out here that, ADD. I'm one of them.
As long as you know.
Honest. But I went in on one class. I changed classes. So anywho,
You got a great agent.
What I'm about to say to you is that Illinois is smart. They give him a 2-year deal, they extend it, and they restructure the contract. So it's cheaper to fire his ass if he don't win in the first 3 or 4 games next year.
Well, he knew that. His agent knew that. But you know what it also did? It gave him more money right now. Now, you're already paying this man multi-million dollars. So you basically saying, we'll give you more money right now, just so we don't have to pay you more money later. That's all that was about.
Yeah.
I know what it's about. See, this is my thing. This is my tire. He's in a conference where it's a bunch of schools that's good every year. Michigan's good every year.
Hey, can I get another?
Ohio State is good every year. Michigan State is almost good
Not
every year.
anymore, Corey. That's what we're talking about.
All right. Penn State now is good every year. Northwestern is pretty good almost every year.
Illinois got better this year, though.
But they stunk.
They got better.
Stunk.
They got the same record as Nebraska.
Stunk.
Nebraska was on a 5-game winning streak, 4-game winning streak.
Stunk. Stunk. New head coach. Stunk.
Proceed.
Am I lying? Nebraska stinks.
Make your argument.
I just made it. It's point. Look, it's cut dry. Lovey is up out of there after about game 4 or 5 next
He
year.
improving though.
I ain't trying to hear that.
He improving, coach.
You think the man want to hear nothing about improvement? The man went with results.
He wasn't gonna go from 2 wins to 9 wins.
Listen,
Thank you.
Les Miles ain't no win at Kansas.
I'll give you one.
Mac Brown got picked up today.
I'll give you one.
Mac Brown got
Jim
picked up
Tressel.
today.
That don't mean nothing.
Yeah, we don't know if Jim Tressel can win.
He won a coach.
I'm gonna tell y'all right now.
And you know that, Trey.
I'm gonna tell y'all. I want y'all to listen to me right now. And y'all heard me say this. Corey Patterson, if you listening to this show and you heard me, Liddyville, can you hear me now? You better call somebody and get you another job at another university.
Why would he?
Because they are on their way up out of there in less than a year and a half.
False.
He good.
And I'll say
It
this.
might be.
That's false. And I'll say this. Corey Patterson never has to worry about a job ever again.
Thank you.
Because wherever Lovey goes, Corey Patterson is
He
going.
good. Oh, you true.
Well,
This
I'm
ain't got
if they
nothing to do
get
with
fired, no, this wasn't about this. I'm not taking
First off, Lovey want to
What
get
I'm
back.
telling you is
Lovey
that-
want to get back to the league anyway.
Yeah.
So what Lovey's going to do is he's going to say, "Hey, I'll do this. I'll renegotiate this contract.
Exactly.
And you know what? I'm not going to allow you to make me a lump sum payment. So when you fire me, I'm going to get this coaching job in the NFL, and then I'm going to be getting paid by them, and you still going to be paying me every month $127,000.
Yeah.
Lovey ain't worried about that,
He
man.
good. And he gonna take his
Who
guy.
said he was worried?
He gonna take his guy.
What I'm telling you is he's not capable.
Man, coached in the Super Bowl.
Illinois.
First, one of two
We're
first
talking
black
about
coaches to
facts
ever
right
coach in the
now.
Super Bowl.
He good.
Give me his resume. His resume means nothing coaching in Illinois. It's like if he took the job down at VAP. He ain't got a chance in hell to win at VAP in football. VAP.
Really?
They don't got football. That's my point.
Right.
You might well say the old math and science.
Right.
Because he'll always have a job, Troy.
Who remember that? Down there on the
Hey, I just had this debate with a couple people.
We used to pull up his
I just had this debate with a couple
That
people.
had the pieces.
How is Corey Patterson guaranteed?
Oh man, they had the pieces.
Because he's in the circle now.
Shit, you had the pieces down there.
I don't know.
In the 90s.
You signed your receipt.
was my shit.
He's a great coordinator. He's not a head coach.
All right, let's bring on that guest. Come on, we're running out of time.
Come on, man. Come around here. Scoot on in the middle of us.
Big Bear. Y'all scoot over and welcome.
We're going to introduce you guys.
Y'all ain't
So
got no
low.
room for me over here.
Come on around here, man. Around in the middle, man. Come on in the middle, man.
In the middle? Let's go Solo.
Solo, what's up, baby?
Y'all just got back?
Hey, listen. Y'all sound like y'all hating on the show.
We gave it everything we had. We was short, bro. We gave it everything. Overtime.
Hey.
We gave it everything we had.
Everybody.
In that mud,
I want to
it was
Sorry
tough.
for the language
Yeah, it was in there.
inexperience.
Hey, Solo.
They move. I told him I was coming. He brought the whole nation. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, Barry here. So now that we have
they brought the whole nation.
the man himself,
God damn.
Mr. Brick Squad,
I see how they work.
North County Cowboys head
Brick
coach,
Squad in this piece.
Brick
Brick
Squad.
Squad in here. You know what time it is.
The 11
Who else in St. Louis got five? Say what y'all want. Who got five? You got a coach to get five.
I got more than 5.
But he legendary. He ain't got 5 in a row.
I don't got 5 in a
Who
row.
got 5? Who got 5 in a row? You got to go back a couple years.
All right, look. I'm going to intervene.
Levi.
I'm going to intervene so we
Levi,
can
there you go.
keep this interview.
Come on, so we got to move this interview right along. Our people are waiting.
They're going to press me through.
Hey,
What's up, Levi? What's up, Levi? What's up, the nation?
So for those of y'all that don't know, this is Barry, 5-time defending champion of the GFL League.
GFL.
Some would say that they're not playing in America's League, JFL, but when they play JFL teams, they beat them.
Facts.
So, without further ado, Mr. Barry of Brick Squad, 5-time defending champion.
Appreciate y'all having me on.
So I got some questions, Barry.
Appreciate y'all having me. Let me say first of all, I appreciate y'all having me, man.
You said that already, Barry.
Yeah, I'm here.
Well, you know what? We appreciate you coming on the show. But you know I got to ask you tough questions.
You should.
I got to ask you tough
Go
questions.
ahead. Chris Brooks.
What is the issue and why have we not seen Brick Squad in the nation?
It's funny that you asked the tough questions because you put the game together.
I did.
For 5 weeks.
I did.
You told me it was our game.
I did.
So don't come on here and every time I put it on social media, you do that Matthew Dickey.
Whoa.
No, I ain't gonna let you live, bro. You got me here. Yeah, because that's the only thing I can say. Let me say because when it come to Mo Better, let me be honest, he down for y'all kids. That's a business move. He ain't no bullshit with that.
Oh, 10-second delay.
My bad. I ain't know. I thought we was on the Breakfast Club, man. Yeah. But listen, when it come to Mo Better business, he 100. But when it come to that Dickey, he still revert back. So for 5 weeks, he told me, this y'all game, we gonna play it early. I even called him a week early. He sent me a screenshot from Chuck or Levi and said, this it, y'all playing.
Right, because he said y'all was playing. And then you talk to him and then what he say? So is this my fault or his fault?
No, you said, hold on.
A lot of he say, she say.
When I called him and told him I had talked to Chuck, and Chuck was talking about some old stuff with another football promoter, and we do feel Mo Better is the premier preseason event in St. Louis. No disrespect to nobody, because movie shit go hard too.
Delay. You can't curse, Barry.
I'm tripping, man.
I got kids watching.
Maybe I need to go to the other show.
When the sponsors watching and we using all this,
we ain't got no sponsors right now. So let's come on,
tell me the sponsor. Trey Porter. But anyway,
98.8.
My bad. Let me tell it down. We go hard at Brick Squad, fellas. But when I saw the screenshot that we was locked in, and then 3 days before, Gerdine, the only one that want to play, what I'm supposed to do? Don't put it on. Ain't no shots fired. This facts, big facts. You was in the middle of it. Did you not send me the screenshot?
Barry, you remind me of Big Meech.
Man, and he loud too. You know what I mean? He want to overtalk us.
Yeah.
And how about this? How about we talk about something of value? All right.
Yeah.
And
that was of value.
And we'll get to that because ain't no running. The game. Y'all gonna play next year.
Yeah, we better.
The table is set.
We better.
I ain't trying to hear nothing about no pads. I ain't trying to hear nothing about no pads. I ain't trying to hear nothing about my coaches can't get off work that day or none of that.
Get drunk.
Well, that's between him and his drunk.
That's solo job.
I ain't got nothing to do with none of that. What I'm telling you is right now, the Brick Squad and the Nation is playing a more better preseason. I ain't trying to hear that. We ain't no ducking, dodging, and running.
5 minutes.
All right? I don't hear no excuses.
So this is my question.
What's up, bro?
Oh, we can play the game Sunday. It don't matter to
We
me.
need to get into it.
Y'all still got pads.
What is
We
it,
can play the game next. We can play the game this Sunday.
What's up, bro?
I'll be back.
John? Don't get this man excited. He can't hold water. 5-time defending champion.
Yeah.
I mean,
Get the man his interview.
they give you a shout out on the news. You got news crews following y'all around.
We've been working hard.
You got a high school coach coaching in the state championship.
Yeah.
What is it taking up until this point to kind of build? I mean,
The brand.
this is called brand dynasty. I mean, I don't know nobody who's 5-peated. I don't give a damn what league you played in. You know, to win.
Time out.
I don't care because you know why? When they play JFL teams, they beat them.
You think Brad will win the whole cycle on one air too?
Y'all gonna do that?
When they play JFL teams, they beat them. And everybody know I'm JFL Dickey to my core. But you play against the best and you beat them. So what is it took up until this point for y'all to consistently do what y'all have done?
Hard work and preparation, Brooks. You know better than anybody. I mean, we want our practices to be harder than the game. We feel like if our practices are harder than our opponents, then they ain't gonna be able to fuck with them. I'm sorry, y'all PG show. They ain't gonna be to mess with us on Sunday. You know what I'm saying? I'm live. This Brick Squad, that's how we move. But I'm sorry, but it really comes with practice and preparation. We like to prepare our kids. It don't matter if we long form and logging, all the finite details, coach. I mean, we really do. We really push the buttons. Also adjustments. I can say this now that we in our 6th year. How do you adjust during the game? You see this, you see that, but are you gonna stay in it? Or are you gonna adjust to it? Like, that's what we do. I mean, we pride ourselves on that. So practice and preparation.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
And again, I'm gonna ask you a tough question.
Yeah, you should.
If you were to play in the JFL and you had to play those teams week in, week out.
Yeah.
They get their shit split.
Whoa,
They get their shit split.
Hold on, we have a heckler. I'm sorry.
Whoa.
No, I'm not a heckler. I'm not a heckler. This is who I am right here. And I'm saying that if they play in the JFL and play teams like us week in and week out, we bust their shit.
Can we get back to it? Because that's a joke.
Yeah. So
Can we
listen,
get back to it?
the question I'm gonna ask you.
That's a heckler.
That's
That's a real
heckler.
heckler. So that's a heckler.
Yeah, that was
That's a heckler.
That's a flag on the play right now. Personal foul.
He big man. He big man.
Hold on.
That is big man.
Hold it, guy. Hold on.
He just got one back to fuck.
Hold on. We gonna be a
championship. Go ahead.
All right. So what I'm saying, I don't off the boat for
Get off my interview, man. Get off my interview.
So what I'm gonna ask you is,
I ain't been here in 5 years.
I need you to be totally transparent
Yeah,
and give me
Oh man, he done messed the whole show
give me
up.
an honest answer.
Pull it back up a little bit,
No,
bro.
we're fine. Give me an honest answer and assessment of what we're talking about here. Do you believe that if you played in the JFL and you had to play the teams that are in the league right now, all right, which I think is 4 quality teams,
Yeah.
4 quality teams,
It's
all
2
right?
good teams.
2 very, very good.
2 good teams.
All right. If you had to play them week in and week out, do you think you would go undefeated?
Yeah, we'll thrash them. We beat them because, listen, hold on. Can I speak? Because what we do is different. If you think that we went through the GFL 5 times and just won on luck, or just because, hold on. No, let me spin it. Because we just got more talent. Man, I'm going to tell you this.
I'm not saying
Hold
that.
on. We didn't beat this man every time we played. Chuck, the nation. So hold on. If we got to look at you and we was able to scout you and understand your personnel and your tendencies, that's what we do. We didn't get here out of nowhere. We'll thrash anybody in the JFL.
Just like Trey Porter, man.
Bro, I'm telling you, that's real. Bro, this shit, y'all playing
10-second delay.
My bad, boss. Y'all playing Little League football. We playing for keeps. Come on, bro. Brick Squad on another level.
Okay.
If we saw them,
what's your record against Mike Gurdine's team?
We 2-2. But he has. Shout out to Lou. Hold on. Shout out to Lou. Shout out to Lou Daddy Whittier. Shout out to Mike Gurdine. Why is he talking? That's just my interview. They coaching over there. That thing at the Nation, they always had better personnel than Wolfpack and couldn't beat them.
So you saying they can't coach?
Yeah, it's bad coaching that thing.
That's exactly what he's saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I'm standing on mine. Lou Gotti, St. Louis, and Mike, they did a better job. Yeah. So, shout out to Bass. Shout out to Bass. Because Bass, when I watched the Nation this year, they grew the offense up a little bit. And I always tell everybody that. Shout out to Bass. They are better than that. But listen, let me finalize this question. Get out my interview, bro.
They look like a whole bunch of worms.
If we was in the JFL, we'd thrash everybody. And to be quite honest with you, at 11U, the GFL got the 2 best teams.
So how about this?
First time a smash the Nation.
Hold on.
That's on wax.
Because that's skeptical. Hold on.
That's on wax. Say what y'all want. Get up if you want. Hold on. Hey, Chris Ham smash Rob White now. Smash Rob White now.
Hey, Rob White figured it out later.
And they struck. They're a combined team.
How about this?
They don't even run a real offense.
How about this?
They go direct snap.
They got the best player in the division, though.
Fresh stuff.
Hold on.
Fresh stuff.
Press pause.
That boy, no horse.
But the boy, the Seminoles got his fresh.
Hold on. There's only one way to find out. What's stopping y'all from coming to the JFL?
I ain't gonna answer till we can talk about it, Chris.
You picked the fine day to show up because the Silver Fox ain't here.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure
that's my guy. We talk every week.
I got something for Barry. You can keep your colors and go up under my banner. You ain't got to change.
Man, we ain't got to talk about that. You know how me and
I'm
you
just
go.
putting it out there.
Yeah.
Well,
you keep your own bricks.
I want to answer the question.
So what's stopping
the correct way. He deserves the answer. Man, we tried everything we could. When Jerry, actually, I'm glad Jerry here because Jerry is the one who brought me to the meeting. When I went to the meeting, that shit couldn't work for me, bro.
10-second delay.
I'm sorry.
That shit couldn't work for him.
It couldn't work for me. I mean, and not only that, I'm the vice president of the Cowboys. I got 2 or 3 other teams. I got cheerleaders involved. I couldn't go. I don't want to come here on no JFL bashing stuff. That ain't for me. I never do that. I'm a product of the JFL. I wouldn't be in front of you if it wasn't for the JFL. You would never see me on no platform bashing the JFL. So hold on. Let me be honest. From a business standpoint and everything I'm involved with in North County, it wasn't going to work, Chris, to be honest with you. Now, hopefully it can. I like the direction it's moving. I'm for it. Jerry knows that. I appreciate Jerry bringing me there. But at the current state it was, that wasn't going to work for me on my other 2 or 3 teams and my cheerleaders. It wasn't going to work. Because I'm more than
what's up this year?
I don't know. We'll see. So it's always on the table, to be honest.
So
it wasn't going to work, Chris.
Late August, beginning of September. Live, are you penciled in? Can you sit here and say whatever the slot is? I don't know what the slot is, what the date's going to be. Can we pencil you in a slot to face the Nation?
And Mo Better?
And Mo Better.
Well, what I can say is, Chris, I was there this year. I was there.
But we can't go back, though.
No, we can't go back.
You was there last year, too.
And I was there the year before. We've never every year I've had this team, we played the Nation. It didn't work with them this year. So you talk about me, you probably want to ask them that. I've been there. Was I available this year?
You was.
Did I want the game?
You did.
Did I do everything I could?
You did.
Yeah. So if you ever talk to the Brick Squad, we've never not played nobody in St. Louis, bro. We built this. That's why I'm here now. So it's never going to be nothing where Brick Squad ain't ready. But I think at 7th and 8th grade, whether you're talking about a preseason game or talking about a league, the dynamics are different. Me and Chuck talk all the time. He's a good brother. Our game will probably be a different game in St. Louis. Am I right, Chuck? It'll be a different type game.
But you already said
our league situation. Yeah, them niggas can't coach. I'm my bad. Them brothers can't coach. They can't coach over there. That's a joke.
This sound like Damon. This sound like Damon and Chris. We ain't never been friends.
No, that's my guy. That's a good brother.
We haven't been friends.
No, I don't do that. Damon Mitchell, my guy. I respect Brooks from afar. We ain't doing that now. Me and Chuck do too much to mentor together. So it ain't never like that. Chuck is my guy.
We ain't never been
play like that. No, we don't do that. That's whack. I don't do that. I don't know how y'all, but we do this together. We argue in front of y'all, but we on the phone every night.
Did I lie?
With mental. Well,
you did.
It's real.
I didn't lie.
But I'm glad me and Chuck don't have
never said anything
him and Dan. Yeah, I'm glad we don't have that relationship. I'm glad we
won.
So my question again.
Oh, now you want to go back to the question?
My question.
Yeah.
What do we have to do?
My bad.
What do you think the necessary steps need to be?
Well, the league needs to be right, John. It don't need to be, I got to play Chuck and Solo in the preseason. We need to go at it with scouting, with film. We need to put our kids at the best of the best weekend. I need to see everything. And that's what it needs to be. It's a lot of forces working behind the scenes. Silver Fox working. I talk to him all the time. We got other people working. I'm working. Hopefully it can get worked out. But this old preseason stuff, we kick their ass every year in the preseason. We ran one play against them in your tournament down at Sloop. They never adjusted. These same people that ride with you never helped them out. They can't adjust. So I want to do it in the league format to certify for the next 2 years. I can go play Kentucky. I can play California. I can play Florida and Vegas and Texas in the preseason. I don't want to play St. Louis in the preseason. I want to play them week after week. But we're not going to do it with men who are 80 years old and an uneven vote. That's what we ain't going to do. Get the vote right. Yeah, Baby Brick Squad on the loose. Shout out to Big Red, JGE. Baby Brick Squad up next.
JGE?
Yeah, y'all already know. Baby Brick Squad up next. Y'all know. Don't put me on her. Yeah, but we won't be with that nation.
Well, I'm going to tell y'all this.
Behind y'all. Just so everybody knows.
There
you go. That's it. I love Chuck.
We want to thank you for coming on our show.
Yeah. Don't get me back on. I'm too much.
You gave us the facts. You was loud as hell.
Who else got fired?
You overtalked us.
Who else got fired?
And
who else got fired? Brick Squad, Brick Gamma, we beat y'all ass every time we played.
Second delay.
They never beat us. Hey, let's say this.
Shit, man. Go ahead.
Look, can I talk a little bit?
Talk your shit.
Nation ain't never beat us. They ain't never beat us.
Y'all only played once.
We played 3 times. We play every year we have these teams, but this year we played at Cool Papa the first year. My bad. We played at Cool Papa the first year. It's all on my heart. So I'm lying. So I need to put my phone out.
Yeah, you do.
We played at Cool Papa.
Loud talking. They're not gonna fight.
No, we ain't. I promise you they're not gonna. We played at Cool Papa.
We just finished drinking in Atlanta together.
Yeah, that's my birthday. We played at Cool Papa the first year. We played at our field in the scrimmage games. We got rained out at Lutheran North the second year. Am I right, Coach Chuck?
Oh, so you're not counting. He's not counting the scrimmage game.
But he counting scrimmage. Y'all remember? Y'all played in y'all field.
All right, hold up. This is what last year. This is what we played.
We played.
We got rained out. We didn't play no game. Hey, we're gonna allow them. We're gonna allow y'all to do that coming on over there. Shout out to Brick Squad 5 times.
GFL champs.
Get down or lay down.
Oh,
they don't want no work.
Boy, out here,
he ran all year. He ran from his other Matthew Dickey. He ran from his other Matthew Dickey legend. He ran. John, did he run? Did he run?
Oh, he definitely got on his tracksuit.
Did he run? Did they run? Matthew Dickey legend here. He ran. Look at John. I'm out. He ran.
I saw that watered down lead.
Did he run? He ran.
Listen, shout out that watered down lead. Hey, we can't get out of here. We don't have our special segment. Ask Ray tonight.
Ask Solo.
We ain't asking Solo nothing.
Solo been
Solo. Solo.
Solo by
Solo.
Now on to the ignorance.
Let's ask Trey. Come on, Trey. Come on, Trey.
We're gonna wrap this up.
We're gonna wrap this up.
Hey, before we ask Trey,
Ask, do you think Brick Squad gonna beat the Nation?
Looking forward to seeing how Mizzou or where Mizzou gets placed in their bowl bid. So shout out to Mizzou.
Finish strong.
Finished very, very strong. Beating some good football teams and beating them convincingly.
I know who won't be fired.
So shout out to them. Shout out to Barry Odom. You got to make sure, or whoever, he got to make sure that he continues to recruit here. And we had Big Wendell on the show last week. His son, Jelani Williams, headed to the University of Missouri. So they continue to progress. Shout out to Will Franklin for kind of being the vessel to be able to feed this pipeline. And we've talked about this, and I know Will has his own personal reasons why he's not coaching. They got to get Will on the coaching staff. They get Will on the coaching staff. They get Will down here, director of player personnel. They get Will on the coaching staff. They have Will intimately here.
He's not just with the football program anymore.
He's not. But
new position.
But I know he's itching to get back into coaching. But he wanted to be able to learn the ins and outs on how you actually recruit, how you do the back job with clearinghouse and all of that other good stuff. You know, so I applaud him on that. But it's going to be very, very intricate. It's going to be an intricate part for Will and Missouri to get him back on board. I don't get, you know, whether it can't be a GA because he can't go out and recruit. He's got to have an active position. It's going to be very, very important for them to get him in an active positional role so that he can come back here and continue to pick kids from here in order to be able to help Missouri. If you think about it, the kids that are playing in this game, Trinity Cardinal Ritter, Texas, you go to Texas. Florida, you go to Florida State. If they can create that kind of environment where they are keeping these kids here, national championship implications every single year for Missouri.
I'm sorry.
It's a fact. You let all these kids go to these schools. You let all these kids go to these other schools. You got Cameron Brown, who's playing at Ohio State. The only reason he's not playing right now because he tore his hamstring off the bone. You got Cameron Babb at Ohio State. You got Caleb Ellaby at Western Michigan.
He wouldn't be playing right now, though.
You're missing the point, though.
I ain't missing the point.
There's only one quarterback who can play.
But I think
you got to keep these kids.
You ain't got to my point. Here's my point. Here's the problem with St. Louis PC. All right. When it comes to recruiting and these major programs, hold up now. Hold on, y'all. Hold up. Let me bring my point because I think it's gonna be fast. When you talk about recruiting at Power 5 schools, all right, and we're talking about in-state kids staying home. Every kid that we think is capable of playing there, when they get there, it's a different story. All right,
that's everywhere.
Hold it. Every kid that they get, every major kid in St. Louis to stay at home and to play in the SEC. You trying to tell me they don't beat the likes of Georgia, Alabama every year? You have lost it.
Hold on. I played these
now,
boys.
Compete.
I still can play with anybody. Where the bigs coming from?
They ain't getting the bigs from here. And that's what Trey keep whispering. They can't win up front. But they ain't getting those guys from here.
Y'all play the JV too.
Listen, Mizzou went to two. They went to two consecutive before this year SEC championship games.
I can't see the comment.
You said who's that JV team y'all play?
They went. So you don't think they're going to change their recruiting scheme to be able to play fast?
And some stuff I just. You know, when it comes to that, man, again, I think we have a bunch of elite kids. I think they're doing a better job of keeping some of our better kids at home. But I don't think the recipe is them grabbing everybody in those classes because you got to look at it like this. They stockpiling those classes. You're going to have some of those top kids not playing in the freshman and sophomore year. They're going to be transferring out of there. And that's what you're going to have. So it has to be a good mix and core of the recipe that you want to put together in order to be successful.
Cam is very, very happy. Very, very happy. Just talked to him the other day. Very, very happy. He was playing a lot.
It just boils down to that. You got to stop looking at it and saying, it's like with Stewart. If they get every kid stay at home and play in SLU, they'll win the A-10. That's false.
That might be a little more tangible than the SEC.
Yeah, right. You're right. Might be more tangible than the SEC. But SEC, the mecca of football, the conferences.
Well, you say that, but all them schools come and get all these kids that we named. They come shooting at them.
Well, let's move right along to our segment. Today, we don't have Silver Fox ask Ray. So today we're going to ask the clown himself, Mr. Trey Porter.
Ask Trey.
Chris, here's your question.
Chris gonna ask you some clown.
No, I'm not. I'm actually going to ask you something that will potentially help. That'll potentially help all the viewers and their kids and other kids. I know you talked about it at my camp at the symposium. Let's just talk about what it actually takes academically for you to even be able to put on a uniform. So you got a lot of kids who are in their 8th grade year, a lot of kids in 9th grade, 10th, and whatever. It's a privilege to be able to play football. And academically, one, when you are at that level and you're kind of being recruited, you have to be cleared through the clearinghouse to even be able to go to college. So you could be Jameson, you could be Isaiah Williams, you could be all these kids, but if you don't have the grades, you can't even get cleared to be able to be academically eligible to go to college. So let's talk about one, high school eligibility, and then kind of move forward from there on that sliding scale with the ACT, SAT, what your grade point average needs to be, and what your, along with what your SAT score needs to be, for you to even be able to play college football.
Right. Well, first you need to focus on getting those 16 cores. I might not be loud enough. You don't know that loud.
And you gotta dumb it down. No offense, but you gotta dumb it down to some of the viewers when you say 16 core classes about what that actually means.
16 core will be 4 units of science, 4 units of math, 4 units of history, 4 units of English. That'll be the easiest route to 16 true cores, but you can throw in your foreign language, Spanish, German, French, whatever your school may offer. You get those 16 core classes with the NCAA, it's going to come down and break every one of those down. You need to have a 2.3 minimum GPA to play NCAA, FCS, and FBS football. So that's D1 such as Mizzou and D1 such as SEMO. If you don't got a 2.3, they're not even going to let you in the door. And if they do, you're going to have to take what's called an academic red shirt. You want to sit that year regardless how good
so that's the old Prop 48, right?
Prop 48 is gone.
Well, we know that, but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so if that's the modern day term of it, you're going to take an academic red shirt if you don't have a 2.3. NCAA slogan 2.3 or take a knee. They launched it 2 years ago. And one benefit of bringing out the 2.3 or take a knee is what came along with the slide scale. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
All right, Frenchie. That's Frenchie. Yeah, he asked because he was on here a couple weeks ago asking about clearance and stuff. So yeah, 2.3 is the minimum GPA requirement to get into an NCAA, FCS, FBS institution and play immediately. With that, you need 72 points on the ACT. A lot of people don't know about the ACT score anymore. If you can score 36 in the math, but only a 15 in the English, now they take what's called a super score and they put all the points together. If you get that 72, I believe it's 72, maybe 77, you're going to be a qualifier. So add that to the equation, and now you get a higher GPA. So a lot of kids get this 4.0. You can go just put your name on the ACT. Because I think NCAA systematically they know.
So answer this. With the new sliding scale in the NCAA, do you think that serves the African American athlete better with the new sliding scale?
Well, with all standardized tests, I think they're not written by us. So, especially in the literature content, we don't receive the information the way it's presented when it's just not written in the same context that we would actually read something. So it definitely makes sense because we're having students with 4.0s or 3.6s and only getting 14s and 15s on the ACT test, and they wouldn't be allowed to get into the institution. The slide scale, now they have the ability to take that. And what also happens was from Harvard research was that instead of getting a 4.0 student in the 32 ACT and he couldn't interact with people, they realized how many good character people they're missing out on by just getting brainiacs that couldn't do anything social. You probably didn't know that, John. You know I read a lot.
Nothing but facts.
Nothing but facts, folks. All right, I got one more question. Is it good for most incoming freshmen to take a redshirt year when it comes to sports and getting acclimated to the college life?
Well, it depends. I look at it like this. Depending on where you come from in your coaching backgrounds, development, if you don't know what 11 and 12 and 21 and 31, 13 personnel is going into college, it may not be right for you to try to get on the field instantly because you got to learn the verbiage of what they speak. But if somebody coming in and just saying wishbone 35, wishbone 28, dive right, dive left, it's not going to translate to the college play. But if you hear 484 C Thunder, you got to know what all that verbiage is. So if the high school offense and defense translates to a college terminology, and you can play immediately, don't red shirt.
Can you tell Mo Better Sports and the people that are viewing more about MMCA?
Oh, so the Missouri Minority Coaches Association started pretty much last year. I was working with some coaches down in Georgia. I almost took a job in Daresville, Georgia, but I got a call from these guys when I was on Twitter and asking basically, anybody know anything about this school? So I got a call. When in the South, you learn that there's a Northland, Highland, Southland. They call every part of Georgia different, the same as North and South Carolina, Highlands, Lowlands. So it's certain types of coaches that are in certain areas, and they pretty much prevented me from taking a job where I would have not been highly favored and maybe not had a nice success rate. But it was through the organization that they kind of had those conversations amongst other minority coaches to prevent them from getting into opportunities that may not be best fit for them, but they also will help you find another opportunity. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to bridge the gap between middle school football and high school football, and talk about red shirt in college, where we got these guys, everybody like, man, he was killing things in JFL, he was killing in GFL, but he getting in high school and he don't know anything but sweep right, sweep left. So we're trying to educate the coaches with best practices, some of the best means of becoming a better football coach of the game translates to high school.
Well, I think that's all I have for you. Right. I want to thank Trey Porter, the man himself, for coming on the show with John Albert and Nothing But Facts, and my co-host Chris Brooks. Great show tonight. I want to thank everybody for tuning in.
Hey, we really appreciate y'all's support, man. We get a lot of great feedback, a lot of love, and I mean we talk about it all week long, all day long. The love and the support that we've got from y'all, and we really appreciate it. So if there's something that we could do better, obviously y'all, a lot of y'all see us, some of y'all don't see us, but feel free, add us, add a Twitter, Chris Brooks 83. Obviously all of y'all are already friends with John.
My Twitter is Mo Better Sports. Add me on Instagram, Mo Better Sports, BETTA. Add me on Facebook. Make sure you go and like our page. Make sure you go on our YouTube channel. Like the YouTube channel. We have a lot more to come. You know what I'm saying? We're going to do a lot more as far as getting into basketball. We missed our segment this week about talking about high school basketball as it's gotten rolling so far. But I will tell you, we have a lot in store for high school basketball as it comes. This week, before the week is out, we will release the top 10 players in the area with the likes of EJ Liddell, Mario McKinney, Cam Fletcher, Caleb Love.
I have a question.
Go ahead. Just give us one question.
Is young Nick Kern on that list?
I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
I don't know. We'll see. He's definitely one of the top players in the area. I don't know if he's top 10, but he's definitely one of the top players in the area. So we'll touch on that. We also will have our top 10 high school picks for our rankings for November, and each month we will update them. We will also update the rankings when it comes to class, when it comes to basketball. So stay tuned. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. I'm John Albert, Nothing But Facts with my co-host Chris Brooks, and we are signing out, people.
Appreciate y'all.
I'll let you. Woohoo! Damn, I ain't gonna run past.